what are the implications with regards to Cam Newton and the draft? Are we waiting until like the last possible second to like get news from camp? Are they gelling well? Is he buying into the Patriots way? And then you're like, maybe I'll take a late round flyer. Or are you saying we'll see how it goes through week 1 or week 2? If he's still available, then you take a flyer on him, just pick him up off waivers, or what's the perspective on Cam regarding the draft right now?
I think the ceiling is high enough that he's worth a late round pick.
What round are we talking, do you think?
This the same platform I'm using, a shout out to Fantasy Football Calculator. They have a lot of really nice stats. Has him at the 10th pick of the 10th round in a 12-team league. Okay. So it's actually not so deep on a quarterback. That's kind of middling, but that's kind of where we've seen Cam, and I think that you sort of have to draft for the ceiling. There's a little bit of like you can dock him for risk, whether it's injury or not getting the starting position. But I think someone will be like, there's no camp. How can they not start Cam? Or like no preseason. How can they not start Cam? And then like worst case scenario, it's the 10th round. So
yeah,
it's worth the risk.
Yeah, I feel comfortable like second or third bench spot, take him, and probably my second quarterback. But I might end up doing that thing where like you wait for any quarterback and then you take like Roethlisberger and Cam Newton. That would be pretty sweet. Like one of them's got to be pretty good, and then maybe they're both kind of middling to start, or like you play the matchups based on them throughout the course of the year. But no doubt, Cam Newton, unless he gets cut. I mean, that's the basement for him. Is if he gets cut, and you'll know that before the season starts. But if he is the starting quarterback, I mean, I think the ceiling is really high and the basement is really low for him. So he's definitely worth a spot, and he could become your starting quarterback within 2 weeks.
Josh McDaniels' offense primarily has been a timing offense. Cam Newton, up until this point in his career, has never been that type of player. He's always been the wait for the guy to get open, and then he's going to drill it in there with his strong arm. So is Cam Newton a real fit in this offense, what they've run? No. But they're going to have to really tailor the offense to him. So it's going to be – for me, it's a wait-and-see approach. I'll draft him maybe in the 14th through 16th round if I'm going to draft him at all. And one thing that's going to keep me away from drafting him is the fact that there are no preseason games. Like right. He's going to be in this would be perfect opportunity for a guy like Cam Newton to really learn the system, get some game action before jumping right into week 1, where you can get some of the bumps out before you start the season, you could end up going 1-3, 2-2 to start the season. You never know. But I don't know. For me, Cam is a wait and see. I'm probably not going to draft him just because I would much rather – when I'm drafting, I'm usually drafting based on production as opposed to potential, because I want guys that I know are going to produce. I don't want to take that risk. I can always pick up a guy on the waivers or free agency, whatever system that they run. But
the thing is, I'm thinking about, would I take – because I'm kind of high on Joe Burrow this year. Yeah. Just as a flyer, rounds 13 to 15, and I might take him. And so now I'm thinking about, would I take Cam Newton or Joe Burrow? And I think the difference is that somebody is definitely going to take Cam Newton in your draft, and not everybody's going to take Joe Burrow. So if you want a shot at having Cam Newton and you want the potential there, then you have to draft him. Whereas Joe Burrow, you could probably wait and then pick him up on waivers at some point, unless he pulls like a Lamar Jackson and throws 5 touchdowns in the first game.
As far as taking a pick based on potential, Joe Burrow is an outstanding prospect. Obviously, he shone in the highest level in college. But you're talking about a marriage between an exceptional quarterback in a small sample size and a coaching staff that's renowned for putting people in a great position to succeed. So from the uninformed, perspective, I was kind of all in on taking a flyer on Cam Newton late rounds, barring rumblings from, inside Patriots camp or whatever. I feel like he's worth taking a flyer on, particularly if your draft strategy is pushing quarterback till as late as you possibly can. I think that's where the smart money is, just because of like looking at track record. The Patriots, unless they're putting Cam Newton out there as a way to fill seats, which I just don't think they are. I don't think this is going to be a tank season. Get Cam Newton out there and just let the whole thing combust. And I think they'll probably get rid of him if they feel like he's a cancer. They'll get rid of him before the season even starts. But I really think that. Go ahead.
Well, it's just wild how quick things change. Is because last year I drafted Cam Newton in the 7th round, I think, and felt pretty good about it. And all that's happened in that time is that he's had a year to recover his shoulder. He had a Liz Frank injury. I don't want to undersell that, but he's gone to a very
tough injury to come back from.
I know, but he's gone to a much better team with much better offensive minds than what he was dealing with there. And he's motivated now. He has a new. Something.
It's a 1-year deal, and he's not getting any younger. So you have to think that what's going on between the years of Cam Newton is like, I have my legacy to think of, and do I actually want to, do something here and possibly not just get another contract, but like actually, come in with all the hype that he's had and the things that he has done. I don't know if he wants to necessarily be a flash in the pan. I think he's somebody that's certainly, high on talent and one would assume capable of accomplishing what he has done in the past.
Yeah, so just to like kind of put a button on my perspective here after hearing all of our conversation, I want to say that like I'm high on Cam Newton, would draft, but I would say that reach if you're grabbing him before the 12th round. And not that you shouldn't get him before the 12th round, but like consider that because of the risk factor and like the hype on him, like don't reach twice for a quarterback is all I'm saying. Like have a solid safe bet that kind of fell to you or something, or get someone like Derek Carr at the end of the draft. And then Mike, I just wanted to like throw out, because you were talking about his ability to fit in the Patriots offense and the way they typically operate. Like the one thing, and this is all just sort of like what I feel like I've seen on TV, like the way I always felt like Tom Brady threw the football was like last minute, deadly accuracy, lasers in. And that's like, to your point, that's kind of what Cam does too. He's like maybe not the most accurate quarterback in the world, and Tom Brady's pretty renowned for his accuracy. But like when he needs to throw that fastball into Julian Edelman, like 15 yards across like the seam or whatever, he's going to hit that pass. And I think that there will be enough of an overlap in the skill sets for them to sort of like have a very happy marriage. Like there will have to be things that are different, maybe a little bit less timing routes, but I think it could be a really good fit. But I think you should temper expectations because no preseason games at all. So it's like a new system. The talent hasn't had won't have a lot of chance around him to like gel with him. So it could be like 3-4 weeks that you're giving up at the season before he hits his actual stride. So like there could be growing pains. And then of course, like the obvious injury risk. So
I think you're going to see a lot of growing pains from Cam, at least early in the year. And if you're drafting Cam to be your starter, you're doing something wrong. And just to touch on what you brought up as far as the timing and Tom Brady kind of like throwing it in there last minute. Tom Brady is a type of quarterback where he's oftentimes those throws, that's like his 4th or 5th option that he's going to, because the first 3, weren't there. He's a very cerebral quarterback, and a lot of his receivers, which is why you don't see in the Patriots offense, you don't see these rookie receivers like N'Keal Harry and Jacoby Myers actually making the field, because on a given route, these wide receivers have 3 options that they have to run for the most part. Like this is real football stuff, not fantasy things that we're talking about here. So the quarterback and wide receiver have to be on the same page, like hardcore. So this year, we're going to find out, is Cam a smart quarterback? Can he bridge the gap between athletic and smart? And if there's anyone that can do it, it is Cam, because he is motivated.